Hey guys, Jonathan Mosette here for JMSports 100, and it is time for the Monday, June 25th edition of JM Sports Nightly. How is it going? We have a packed program for you tonight. Tonight on the program, we will talk a little bit of Olympics. Also, we have a College World Series champion crowned, um, baseball scores, including a suspension, Kevin Euclif's new home. We'll talk a little bit about that. I'm also going to dip backwards a little bit. It's been a while since I've done an episode of JM Sports Nightly. They're going to be more frequent. They're going to be more of a nightly thing, I think, now. But I'm going to dip back a little bit and discuss a couple of the important bullet points, if you will, that have been missed since I haven't been doing the program. So let's get going right away. We're going to kick things off with what happened basically last Thursday. I know it's obviously been a while. Obviously, everybody knows LeBron James finally getting his ring. Heat beat the Thunder 121-106 in Game 5, win the series 4-1. Obviously, everybody knows that. Just want to give my quick thoughts on that. I expected the game to go to 6. I was surprised it only went 5, and I was surprised that the Heat beat the Thunder as bad as they did in Game 4. I do think it's kind of easily explainable. Well, not really easily explainable, but I do think that there is one of the explanations that you can use behind it is just the fact that the Thunder were definitely the younger team, and I think that the youngness of them and the lack of experience is really what hurt them in the long run. That allowed the Heat to get the ring. I do think that it's not over for these two teams. I definitely don't think that. I definitely think the Heat have a couple more championships in them, and I know that the Thunder will be back. In fact, I'm going to say this right now. I would not be surprised to see a Heat Thunder rematch in the final next year. Two people that we could see on the Heat next year. One of them is in negotiations. They are not really in negotiations, but in talks, and would definitely like it, I do know. And the other one has said that he would not be opposed to it. First of all, a rival of the Heat, if you will, from years past, once or has talked about an interest in jumping ship. Ray Allen, who of course has played for the Celtics for the last 5 years, has talked about an interest in joining the Big Three in Miami, and also excuse me, and also Nash as well. Steve Nash said he would not be opposed to it either. He's open to pretty much anything. He had said earlier or before that he would enjoy an opportunity to play for the Heat. Alrighty, so like I said, I think it was just the Thunder were too young, too big of a stage, and I think that they just kind of collapsed under the pressure a little bit. But I do think that they will be back. All right, next up, we have a story that I didn't really cover a whole lot. Didn't really feel like covering a whole lot. Didn't really want to cover a whole lot because it was so disturbing. Now that it's done, I will discuss it a little bit. Of course, everybody knows by now Jerry Sandusky was found guilty on, I want to say it was 45 or 48 counts, but I think I'm mistaken on that number. I did forget to look it up before I started to record this. I think that nobody is obviously surprised by this. Nobody was surprised by the outcome, and the fact that Sandusky is basically looking at life in prison. And I don't think anybody would actually be surprised if he was actually taken care of in prison, if you know what I mean. I think that there was only one way that this could have went down, and that Sandusky had to have been found guilty. I think that if he wouldn't have been found guilty, Penn State would have basically probably blown right off the map, literally. It was a bad situation, and unfortunately, even though justice, was really served and Sandusky has been put away, forever, it's still a very, very uncomfortable situation. It still doesn't make up for anything, obviously. The scarred memories of the children are still there, and which leads me to another thing. And, I read this earlier today, didn't really form an opinion on it, and then I was listening to ESPN radio this morning, as I do most mornings during the weekend. I was listening to The Herd with Colin Cowherd, and he brought up a point. He made a really good one. Obviously, everybody has a right to a has a right to an appeal. Death row inmates have an automatic appeal, whether they want it or not. Uh, and the Sandusky appeal thing, obviously Sandusky has a right to an appeal. Really? I mean, obviously he's going to file that appeal, but really, do we really want to put the children through that again? Haven't they suffered enough? I understand that he has a right to an appeal, but in certain situations, I do think that an appeal is a little bit uncalled for, and this is, I think, definitely one of them. But nonetheless, justice has been served. Will probably be served again. I don't think the appeal is going to do much for Sandusky. In fact, I can almost put a guarantee on it. So there you go. I'm going to put a bow on that story, and let's move on. Next up, College World Series. We have champion. I saw the bottom of the ninth inning. It was a very interesting bottom of the ninth inning. Arizona wins 4-1, so the Wildcats snap South Carolina's bid for 3 World Series in a row. 4-1, Arizona beats South Carolina. It is the 4th championship in school history for the Wildcats, and their first since 1986. Wildcats, of course, went 10-0. Only the second team to go 10-0 since the field expanded in 1999. Several teams have gone 9-0 since then, but Arizona actually joins the South Carolina team from last year, the defending champions from last year, as the only other team to go 10-0. So Arizona wins the series 2-0. Arizona gets 3 runs in the top of the ninth inning to get the win. South Carolina loaded the bases in the bottom of the ninth, but could not do anything. Like I said, 4-1. Congratulations to the Arizona Wildcats winning the 2012 College World Series. Alright, now let's move on to professional baseball. Got a little bit of news there. Kevin Youkilis was traded yesterday. I originally recorded a JMSports Nightly yesterday. It was about 20 minutes long. It didn't upload, and I didn't try to upload it again. I did already talk about it. Kevin Youkilis got sent to the White Sox for Brent Willibridge and Zach Stewart pitcher, and Willibridge, I believe, a third baseman or first baseman. He went 1 for 3 in the White Sox debut today. And of course, the other news: Marlon Byrd failing a PED test, and he is out for 50 games for Marlon Byrd. Of course, Byrd has played for the Cubs and the Red Sox this season, playing for anybody for a while. Let's take a look now at some scores from Monday, and it looks like this: the Yankees routed the Cleveland, routed the Indians. Yankees routed the Indians 7-1. Several more home runs hit by the Yankees as they continue to lead all of the major leagues in home runs. Hiroki Kuroda gets the win, moves to 7-7. Josh Tomlin drops to 3-5. Philadelphia beats Pittsburgh 8-3. Some sloppy play from Pittsburgh at times in this game. Joe Blanton moves above 500 with the win, up to 7-6. Jeff Karstens falls to 0-2. Toronto beating Boston 9-6. Alvarez getting the win, 4-6 on the year. DeBrant falls to 8-4. Cincinnati and Milwaukee. Cincinnati getting a 3-1 victory, beating the Brewers. Brewers have now lost 3 of their last 4. And getting the win, Matt Latos 6-2, complete game for the Reds, only the second complete game of his career. Giovanni Gallardo falls to 6-6. St. Louis gets an 8-7 win. Heath Bell blows another save, and the Marlins could not get it done in extra innings. Chad Gaudin takes the loss for the Fish. He drops to 1-1. Victor Marte gets the win for the Redbirds. Next up, Detroit actually beats Texas 8-2. Rick Porcello gets the win. Improves to a .500 record of 5-5. Taking the loss is Justin Grimm, as he takes the loss for the Rangers. 2 times in this game, Josh Hamilton loses his bat on a swing, and that's happened to him several times. I think it's happened to him 4 times since Friday or Saturday. Hamilton has lost the grip on his bat. Next up, the Cubs beat the Mets 6-1. Travis Wood gets the win, improves to 2-3. Johan Santana takes the loss, drops to 5-4. San Diego beats Houston 8-7, even though San Diego had a rough start from their starter in the game. Ross Ollendorf, Dale Thayer, taking the win for the Friars in the game, and he, with the win, improves to a record that I'll be able to tell you in just a second. With that, 1-2, and taking the loss and falling to 0-2 on the year for the Stros is Brandon Lyon. Next up, we've got a slow-running computer, which is kind of putting a damper on this video. Minnesota beats the White Sox 4-1. Francisco Liriano gets only his second win of the year, 2-7. Jake Peavy drops to 6-4 with the loss. Colorado beats Washington 4-2. Steven Strasburg takes only his second loss of the year, dropping to 9-2, getting a win. Josh Renicky for the Rockies. He improves to 3-0. Strasburg really was mowing through the Rockies pretty easily until late in the contest. Scary moment when he hit Marco Scutaro in the head, and then after Scutaro is okay, but after hitting Scutaro in the head, that really did affect Strasburg. Oakland beat Seattle 1-0, getting a win in that game. Tommy Malone for the Athletics, he improves to 8-5 on the year, taking the loss and dropping 0-2. Erasmo Ramirez. And last but not least, San Francisco blanks the Dodgers 8-0. Barry Ziegel gets the win, improves to 6-5. Nate Eovaldi 0-4 with the loss. Here we go. Let's take a look at the games now for tomorrow. LA Angels, Baltimore Orioles, C.J. Wilson and Brian Mattis. Cleveland and New York Yankees, Chris Masterson, Phil Hughes. Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, Eric Bedard, Darryl Worley. Toronto and Boston going for the Red Sox will be Daisuke Matsuzaka. Aaron Laffey will go for the Jays. Arizona and Atlanta, battle of the Hudsons, Daniel Hudson and Tim Hudson. Sorry, I forgot the Braves Hudson. Totally blanked on it. Next up, Milwaukee and Cincinnati making his return to the mound for the Brewers. Marco Estrada goes up against Bronson Arroyo. St. Louis and Miami, Kyle Walsh takes on Carlos Zambrano. Detroit and Texas, game can be seen at 8:05 Eastern Time on MLB Network. Drew Smiley and Yu Darvish. New York Mets, Chicago Cubs, Dylan G will go up against Randy Wells. San Diego and Houston, Kip Wells will go for San Diego. Taking the mound for Houston will be Jordan Lyles. Tampa Bay and Kansas City taking the mound for the Rays will be Chris Archer. Taking the mound for the Royals will be Bruce Chen as the Royals look to get another winning streak going. Chicago White Sox and Minnesota Twins, Gavin Floyd, Liam Hendricks. Washington, Colorado, Gio Gonzalez will take the mound for the Mats. Taking the mound for the Rockies, Christian Frederick. Next up, we've got Oakland and Seattle. Justin Vargas will go for the Mariners. Going for Oakland will be Travis Blackley. And last but not least, LA Dodgers, San Francisco Giants, Clayton Kershaw, Ryan Vogelsong. Should be a pretty good pitching matchup there. And one final note to wrap up the show, as this one is getting a little long, but not quite as long as I thought. Even though he is still in the running for an unprecedented 8th gold medal. A swimming matchup that everybody in a swimming matchup today in a trial that everybody could not wait to see. Ryan Lochte beats Michael Phelps. So there you go. That is going to do it. Once again, this is the June 25th edition of the JM Sports Nightly Program. I am John Levin for JM Sports 100. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Take care.